Have you ever stopped to think that maybe the reason your desires aren't coming true isn't because of a lack of dedication, but because of a lack of alignment? Most people believe that all you need to do is think positively, work tirelessly, and repeat power phrases for the universe to open doors for you. However, what actually happens is different. It is not the amount of effort that determines the outcome, but the frequency at which you live. Everything in the cosmos is energy, and all energy vibrates at a specific tone. When that tone does not match what you are seeking, life simply cannot deliver what you ask for. Many imagine that manifesting is mentally repeating what they want. However, the universal field does not respond to random words. It only recognizes consistent vibrations. If the mind repeats abundance, but the heart vibrates scarcity, the universe receives only scarcity. If the mouth affirms love, but the body emits loneliness, the perceived signal is loneliness. This contradiction is what keeps people in endless waiting. Thoughts are maps, but without the road of emotions and the body, they never lead anywhere. This is the difference between thinking and being. The universe does not move with ideas, but with states. Therefore, it is not enough to imagine prosperity. You must live as if you are prosperous. It is not enough to dream of peace. You must breathe peace now. It is not enough to ask for love. It is essential to vibrate love in every gesture. This is the key that was present in ancient teachings, but is now forgotten amid the noise of spiritual fads. In the Indian tradition, before a disciple received instructions, the master would ask, "Are you ready to hear what cannot be heard?" This question was not a metaphor, but a test. Certain secrets do not enter through the ear, they enter through the being. Resonance is one of those secrets. It shows that it is not what you say that moves life, but what you have become. That is why so many people are disappointed with the so-called law of attraction. They desire, repeat phrases, imagine results, but remain empty because they have not learned to vibrate. Imagine soft music being played inside a temple. It doesn't need to be loud or strive to fill the space. Its purity is enough to transform the environment. This music is like your vibration. When you are in harmony, your life changes naturally. When you are in conflict, nothing happens, no matter how much you insist. The universal field is too sensitive to be fooled by words without feeling. It responds only to the tone that is truly vibrating within you. Many people think they need to sacrifice themselves, work excessively, or fight against everything. But effort without alignment is like rowing against the current. The more force you use, the more tired you become. Change does not come from excessive effort, but from vibrational coherence. When your mind, emotions, and body move together, life opens up. Alignment creates fluidity, and in that fluidity, what seemed distant comes closer. Have you ever thought about someone and then that person showed up or got in touch? That's not chance. It's resonance. Your vibration created a field that attracted the corresponding situation. The same happens with opportunities, encounters, and events. When you vibrate in tune with something, that something finds its way in to you. That is the true meaning of manifestation. Not chasing after something, but becoming a magnetic field for what you desire. Now, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is vibrating inside me right now? Is it confidence or fear? Is it gratitude or complaint? Is it peace or anxiety? That answer reveals more about the future than any plan. Because life does not respond to what you want, but to what you vibrate. That is true prayer, the state you hold in silence. An ancient text said that the most powerful prayer does not come from the mouth, but from the heart. Words can be spoken out of habit, but vibration does not lie. That is why some achieve everything without saying a word. while others talk nonstop and nothing happens. Those who vibrate in coherence have already sent the necessary signal, even without asking. Those who vibrate in conflict send contradictory messages, and the universe returns confusion. This is the invitation to transform yourself into conscious vibration. Don't live trapped in loose phrases, but align your body, mind, and emotions in a single note. When this happens, there is no resistance. The universe immediately recognizes the clarity of this sound and response. Not because you asked, but because you became. At this point, manifestation ceases to be a technique and becomes a state. You no longer need extreme effort because your presence is already enough. You no longer need to beg because you already vibrate what you want. You no longer need to seek because you have become a magnetic field for the result. This is the difference between the law of attraction and the law of resonance. The first is based on wanting, the second on being. And here's the beauty. When you become a coherent vibration, you don't just attract things, but experiences that expand your consciousness. Because the universe is not a supermarket of desires, it is a mirror of who you are. When you vibrate abundance, you not only attract money, but you learn to live fully. When you vibrate love, you don't just attract relationships, you become a source of compassion. When you vibrate peace, you don't just find tranquility, you radiate harmony to the world. Therefore, the question is not, what do I want to have, but what do I want to be now? When you choose to be, having happens naturally. When you choose only to have, being remains empty. This reversal is the lost secret. It is not about asking for something distant, but about remembering that the frequency of what you seek already exists within you. If you want abundance, ask yourself, can I feel abundance in the present, even without external signs? If you want love, ask yourself, can I feel love right now, even without someone by my side? If you want peace, ask yourself, can I rest in peace within myself, even in the midst of chaos? These questions are not mental exercises, they are doors of vibration. The more you become that frequency, the more life adjusts to reflect that state. And remember, the universe is in no hurry, but clarity is necessary. Every moment you hold a vibration, you are creating the future. There's no need to wait for miracles, because the miracle is already the vibration you're holding right now. Take a few deep breaths and notice if what vibrates within you really corresponds to what you want to see outside. This is the question that defines the direction of your life. It doesn't matter how many positive thoughts you repeat or how many times you visualize a different future. If there is still fear, insecurity, or doubt within you, that is what will become your true prayer. The universe does not respond to what you pretend to believe. It responds to what you truly feel and sustain. Many imagine that thinking is enough, but they forget that thought alone does not have the power to move the universal field. The body, breath, and emotions are the bridges that translate intention into real vibration. The mind points in one direction, but if the emotions and body follow another, the message arrives distorted. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while turning the dial to different frequencies. The sound is never clear. When you ask for prosperity, but at the same time live tense with bills and fears, what is emitted is not prosperity, but scarcity. When you say you want love, but vibrate neediness, the message sent is not love, but emptiness. This is where so many people fail. They want one thing, but vibrate another. The universe does not respond to desire. It responds to coherence. Imagine the sound of a bell ringing in a temple. That sound is not just noise. It is a prayer that spreads through space and transforms the atmosphere. So it is with your vibration. Your most authentic prayer is not in phrases spoken by heart. but in the energy that runs through every cell of your body. That is the language the universe understands. Ancient masters have always taught this. A wise man once said that true prayer is not spoken, it is felt. Because words can deceive, but the body cannot. Emotions do not lie. They are a reflection of what is really happening inside you. That is why some people achieve everything without asking aloud. Their entire presence already vibrates in alignment. Others ask incessantly, but do not achieve, because their inner selves emit contradictory noises. The secret lies in uniting thought, emotion, and body into a single language. When mind, heart, and breath are in harmony, the universal field recognizes the signal as legitimate. At that moment, it is no longer a desire, it is a command. It is no longer a request, it is a clear vibration. And life responds. This principle can be seen in stories from different traditions. In the Himalayas, monks spent years in silence, not to accumulate merit, but to dissolve internal noise. When they finally stopped searching anxiously, their energy became so pure that nature itself began to respond. They did not need to ask for rain, because their vibration was already aligned with the natural flow. They did not need to beg for prosperity, because they already vibrated abundance in every gesture. The universe always responded to who they were, not to what they said. Today, science confirms what these masters already knew. Research shows that emotional states alter the body's physiology and influence the surrounding energy field. Feelings of fear increase stress hormones and create imbalance. Emotions of trust and gratitude strengthen health, increase mental clarity, and attract corresponding experiences. Quantum physics goes further, showing that reality is shaped by fields of possibility and that the observer influences the results. Your state of being is the true observation that creates worlds. Now, look at your daily life. Every moment you are already praying, even without realizing it. When you worry, that is your prayer. When you trust, that is your prayer. When you complain, you send that signal. When you give thanks, you send another. The universe does not decide what is right or wrong. It only returns what it recognizes as vibration. That is why so many coincidences happen. You think of someone and that person shows up. You feel that an opportunity will come and it arises. It is not chance but resonance. You vibrated so clearly that the field organized the circumstances in response. Life is much more sensitive to your internal state than to your superficial intentions. But the question arises, how do you stay in resonance when the outside world seems confusing? How do you stay aligned when problems and challenges arise? The answer lies in cultivating small practices that strengthen your vibration on a daily basis. No grand rituals are necessary, just consistency in simple acts. A gesture of kindness, a moment of conscious silence, an act of genuine gratitude. Each of these is like tuning your internal instrument. Just as a musician tunes their guitar before playing, you need to tune your energy before creating. If you play an out-of-tune guitar, no matter how hard you try, the music will never sound right. The same is true of your life. Tuning yourself is more important than trying hard. If your vibration is clear, the reflection will be clear. If your vibration is confused, the reflection will be confused. This means that the power has always been in your hands, or rather, in your heart. Now, close your eyes again and ask yourself, what vibration do I sustain every day? Not just when I try to manifest, but in my daily life, in my relationships, in my silence. That vibration is the prayer that creates my future. And here comes the biggest responsibility. Every gesture matters. Every thought matters. Every emotion matters. Not because someone is judging you, but because the universe is reflecting you. If you vibrate confidence, life organizes itself. If you vibrate fear, life closes itself off. It's simple but profound. Therefore, the real practice is to consciously choose the state you want to sustain. It is not about eliminating human emotions, but about realigning yourself whenever you stray. If you feel fear, return to confidence. If you feel anxiety, return to your breathing. If you feel scarcity, return to gratitude. Each return is a tuning, and the more you tune, the clearer the music you play to the universe becomes. This is the point where the law of attraction becomes the law of resonance. The first says desire. The second says become. The first looks outward. The second looks inward. And when you understand this, you realize that there is no longer any need to ask desperately. Just be. The purest moment of manifestation happens when you no longer feel the need to ask, when you don't look for signs or proof, when you simply become vibration. At that moment, there is no distance between you and the universe. There is no future to conquer, no past to correct. There is only the silent presence in which everything already is. This presence does not beg, does not force, does not insist. It just vibrates, and by vibrating in coherence, it naturally attracts. It is like the sound of a perfect note that fills an entire temple without needing to increase the volume. This is the conclusion of the journey. Human beings, their consciousness and reality itself are not separate. They are expressions of a single field. For centuries, people have sought to understand the law of attraction as if it were a technique for achievement. However, the secret has always been beyond desire. True creation occurs in resonance. You do not attract what you want, but what you are. It is not the isolated mind that commands, but the entire state in which you live. Ancient meditators in the Himalayas already understood this. They did not spend years in caves asking the universe for things. They sat in silence until all separation dissolved. In this state, there were no more requests, only union. And in this union, everything happened. Not because they begged, but because they were already pure vibration. When body, mind, and spirit became one sound, nature itself organized itself around them. This is the key that has spanned the centuries and is still valid today. The universe does not listen to random phrases. It recognizes coherent feelings. The field does not respond to superficial intentions. It responds to real vibration. You can repeat 1,000 times that you are abundant, but if your body vibrates with fear, the signal that the field perceives is fear. You can affirm that you are loved, but if you vibrate emptiness, what returns is emptiness. That is why manifestation does not depend on what is said, but on what is sustained in silence. When you understand this, the external search dissolves. You don't have to chase opportunities because they arise when your vibration matches them. You don't have to beg for love because it manifests when it already vibrates within you. You don't have to fight for prosperity because it appears when it is already abundant in essence. Life ceases to be an effort and becomes a flow. This is the hidden language of creation. You are the vibration that resonates in the universe. When you align yourself, this vibration becomes clear and irresistible, and everything that is in tune comes to you. You do not create from absence, but from presence. You do not manifest because you want something, but because you have already become that something. This is the fundamental difference between wanting and being. And here is the final revelation. You are not just in the universe is in you. Every cell, every breath, every emotion is a reflection of this infinite field. When you remember this, you no longer see yourself as an isolated fragment, but recognize yourself as an expression of the whole. This remembrance is awakening. You don't need to be different. You just need to remember who you have always been. The universe is not external, it is internal. It does not wait for requests, it waits for resonance. It does not respond to words, it responds to states. When you become the vibration of love, prosperity, or peace, there is no way for these frequencies not to manifest. It is inevitable, like an echo that returns when you shout on a mountain. What you emit comes back to you. This is the silent order of creation. If something on this journey has brought clarity to your heart, share it. Leave a comment saying, Elohe Anubhav, not as empty words, but as a testimony that something has awakened in you. Your statement may be the spark that inspires someone else to remember as well. Resonance cannot be stored, it expands. If this message made sense to you, show your vibration in action. Like this video, because every gesture confirms internally what you choose to vibrate. Subscribe, because each new encounter is another opportunity to align yourself with your true frequency. Share, because someone needs to hear the same reminder you received today. This is the movement of consciousness, to multiply, to spread, to resonate without limits. This space is not about passing trends, it is about depth. Here, every word is meant to be lived, not just heard. The intention is not to offer beautiful phrases, but to awaken real vibrations. Because transformation does not come from information, but from experience. You are not a spectator, you are a creator. Your energy is your message. Your life is your prayer. Your presence is your vibration. Now it's your turn. The world is ready to hear the sound that you already are. The universe is not far away, waiting for you to ask. It pulses within you, ready to respond to the frequency that sustains it. Become the vibration of what you desire, and reality will have no choice but to reflect it.